Diving in deep, keep the mindset steady. Builders stacking code like Tetris blocks. Innovators pushing boundaries, no padlocks. Mining for diamonds, secrets in the hash. They'll finding gems, make that portfolio splash. Talking with the legends, future so bright. Crypto dreams at dawn, shine into the night. Smart contracts, decentralized plans. Talking to the master, shaking high-tech hands. Riding on the chain revolution in.
Welcome everybody to another edition of Late Night on Base. I am your host, your friend, your trusted confidant, Buildable, back at it at the studio today with another banger episode. Today we have Tim from OXAI on the show. This one's going to be good, especially if you like privacy, if you like AI. This is the one that you're going to want to stay tuned. But before we dive further in, Tim, I have a very, very important question for you, my friend, and that is,
sure.
How are you doing today?
Great, actually. Great. Yeah, great. It's, coming into summer. Weather's turning nice. I'm enjoying it. Sunny day today. Little windy here, but that's okay. It's things are blowing away, but that's all right. Whatever.
Hey, the sun's out. A little wind doesn't hurt anybody. So
there you go, right?
Good to go. So everyone, this episode is really interesting to me. So I love talking to real builders. I talk to all sorts of builders, right? If you guys have followed me, I talk to all sorts of projects, all builders. But one thing that I think is severely lacking in this space is the privacy component. I think privacy is something that, especially if you don't want people spying on you or tracking you, you should take privacy very importantly, because the blockchain, there's good and bad. But one of the things about blockchain is a public ledger. Problem with that is it's open. So if someone knew your address and you knew what's going on, I mean, they could literally track what you have spending, what's in your balance. It's kind of like the idea, like, do you think you want to have someone look at your bank account? So OXAI is very interesting to me. And because you guys are tackling the privacy component and the AI component. But, before we dive deeper, and I have questions, Tim, for those that are listening on Spotify, for those that are on YouTube, maybe on their own Pods Media, one of the socials, they've never heard what OXAI is. If you don't mind, tell us, Tim, what is OXAI?
Absolutely. Thank you. So a really short answer, right there on the website when you go there. OXAI is a next-gen blockchain that's delivering advanced AI tools with built-in data privacy. So what does that mean exactly? So let's slightly longer version here. So the idea of OXAI is to build the most complete AI hub or solution for on-chain needs. So we're not exactly pretending to save the world. We're not winning a Nobel Prize yet, anyway. And we aren't reinventing the wheel. Rather, we're taking what is already available and trying to further enhance its function, right? So we want to make the blockchain more accessible to everyone by giving them the right tools that can then turn anyone into a builder and solve real-world on-chain problems in a much simpler way, right? So when AI is done right, it can take the guesswork out of building. I don't know why, but I'm still amazed when people, like when you go out to somebody and you mention blockchain to somebody and they have no idea what it is, right? Just the other day, somebody asked me about like what I do. I said, well, I work on the blockchain, right? And they're like, well, what's a blockchain? I'm like, okay, well, have you heard of crypto or Bitcoin? And they're like, oh, yes, of course I have, right? So our job as builders is to help people to understand the tech behind it, right? And to make it easier for them to understand. And then in turn, they can use that tech to create something themselves or just enjoy what others build, right? So our goal with this is that it'll create a thriving on-chain ecosystem. And we see that happening today, right? Like, I mean, there's, the onboarding ramp for onboarding into crypto in this space in general has become easier and easier. So yeah, that's really about it, right? So we're giving people the tools needed to very easily out of the box, work with building their own product or use the services already provided.
So for those, totally understand. So for those that are trying to grasp, again, blockchain is a very complicated subject, but what OXAI is doing is advancing the current state of the blockchain, but with different tools that are available, and that is through advanced AI tools and built-in data privacy. Two different things that I want to really dive deep into, but kind of want to know, and if you guys are on the website, oxai.io, if you're on Spotify, I highly recommend you go onto YouTube or on Pods, watch this so we can kind of do a visual screen share that we just can't do on Spotify. So you have all the language. So, but I think, okay, so let me ask you this. Advanced AI tools with built-in privacy. I want to ask you this, Tim. So again, what I think is very, very important are the two things of using the AI tools that are basically changing the world and how we do things in a much more easy, true way, but also the privacy component. So tell me first, Tim, privacy. How does the privacy, when you say it's built-in privacy, explain, how does that relate with OXAI? How do you guys provide that privacy?
Well, for instance, like you have your chat functions, right? So when you go to the chat function, a lot of times we don't store, we don't collect data, right? We're not training any LLM with customers' data. Like ChatGPT, the new features, built-in memory is something that we don't have because we want to provide a more private and data agnostic place for the users. So we just.
What happens, if you don't mind explaining to the listeners, what happens if data is stored like they do in ChatGPT? Do they monetize that?
Well, everything is monetized, right? So I mean, if you're storing data somewhere, somebody has access to it somewhere, right? So I mean, we talk about data leaks, people monetizing the data. I mean, you see, like you can take our phones for example. Okay, like we're using our phones every day. You ask Siri a function, you ask Alexa or whatever, right? That information you think is private, but in reality, when you're talking about when you're asking directions or you're asking for certain things online or whatever, it's remembering that information, right? So therefore now it's targeting you with all these million ads, right? So the data collected is always being monetized somehow in the background, right? So we want to avoid that because again, like we said in the intro there, people want to be more private, right? People don't want to see their bank account information. They don't want to see what they're searching or this or that, right? They want to be, a little more private with their data. And and take control of your data, right? Because data is gold. That's how things are monetized.
Yeah, and it seems like you guys have focused on that aspect, which again is very much needed in this place and that's why you're not storing, the functions like ChatGPT does, and that's a good thing because the way I look at it is, in order for us to move forward eventually as an industry, there has to be privacy solutions. Privacy matters. Protecting users' data and identity absolutely matters. And I don't personally want to be in a world where everything I have is open, transfer, like everyone can see everything. So what you guys are doing is vital. So take me through the basics, Tim. All right. So say I'm a new user, and I know right now you're in beta, right? The blockchain isn't on mainnet, correct? Until Q3.
Correct. Yeah, blockchain is not mainnet just yet. We're pushing through with our test net right now.
Gotcha. So the token's live. We can get into that too. But first, let's just walk us through when mainnet goes live. Talk to us the basics. How easy is it for somebody to start using OXAI off the gate?
You know what? I referenced phones right now. So we all know Apple products, right? So you either love them or you hate them, right? Most people, however, even if you hate them, you tend to agree that out of the box user experience is probably one of the easiest you will have, right? That's how they designed their company. That's how they designed their business model. So the moment you open that box, the user experience is just, you open it and everything is there, right? You open up the new MacBook, okay? Or you open your iPad. And it's all laid out perfectly for you from a user perspective of easy onboarding, right? And that's what we're going for with OXAI, right? So from the moment you connect your wallet to start engaging, we want you to have a very easy process. You don't even have to connect your wallet, but for the full experience, obviously we recommend connecting your wallet. Now, we have what we call the My Points program. It's on the site there. You can scroll down to the site and click on the My Points.
Okay,
and
let's do that.
Literally, yep, pull that right up.
I will do that right now. Let's go back. So I want people to really grasp this. All right, so it's on the bottom somewhere.
Yeah, if you just go to the app, so you just click up and go to the right to the app.
This one.
Yep, I think I can see that there. I got a little screen on me today. My
Okay.
computer
All
wasn't
right.
working.
So now we're here on the selector and advanced AI tools. Oh, my
Oh, yeah,
points.
yep, yep. So we're down to the My Points.
Gotcha.
So here, oh, you may not be able to see. You got to connect your wallet for unlimited access here.
Okay, but this is the page
But
you get to.
this is the page you get to. So on this page, so when you connect your wallet, what's going to happen is we literally have it all laid out right there, right? Like when people come to a new chain or a test, especially on testnet, they're like, "What do I do? Like, what kind of transactions am I supposed to do? How do I
Sure.
experience this new chain to its fullest?" Right? So what we've done in the My Points area is we've literally laid it all out for you. We have the tasks to perform, right? It's like, have you chatted with the chat in the privacy chat today, right? So you go chat, you earn points for that, right? So what that does is that it helps to engage the users within the chain to understand what the tasks are, right? To get a broader understanding of, what features we bring to the table. And then two, it also gives the users the ability to learn how to use the features.
Yeah.
Right? So, but by laying it all out simply, we're trying to go for that very ease of, user experience in the flow. So we're giving you points, which are, everybody loves the point system. You know
For
what I mean?
sure.
Like you love seeing your points grow. But yeah, so we encourage everybody to just check out the My Points. It's very easy to walk through, step-by-step guide. And you'll experience all the features, and they'll go through one by one. You come every day, engage more every day. Keep learning the process. So
It reminds me of yeah, that seems like the right way to onboard new people. It reminds me of the way
absolutely,
Coinbase Earn used to be. I don't know if people are familiar with Coinbase Earn, but in order for them to incentivize users to come and learn about the different things on Coinbase, they would do the same type of system, points, try different things, you earn points. And I think people like that because it's easy to understand. People like to earn points. So I think you guys implementing a similar feature is the
yeah,
right move because it
yeah.
encourages participation.
It does, right? And you see people do points wrong way, and you see it doing an easier way. And we're striving for that easier user experience where it's pretty straightforward on what you got to do, and here's your tasks to perform. Very simple, very easy laid out. So
Excellent. So now let's turn the attention from privacy to the more of the AI hub type thing because you guys have created the AI hub, which is in theory to enhance the blockchain functionality, as you guys put it. So talk to us. First of all, when you mean enhancing blockchain functionality, what exactly are you talking about?
basically, the AI Hub experience, the functionality is basically just making it easier for anyone to build and interact on chain, right? So we're giving the users access to the essential tools from smart contract development to on-chain analytics and code generation. But it's not just about the tools. The AI Hub gives users the step-by-step process for making the experience smoother and more intuitive. So basically, we want users and builders to feel like they aren't alone, that they're accompanied, supported, empowered. We're lowering the barrier of entry and accelerating adoption. The easier it becomes to build and contribute, the more we attract builders. And with intensive support programs in place, this just leads to more dApps, more on-chain activity, more utility across the ecosystem.
What are your thoughts, Tim? Obviously, you guys have wanted to take the step of implementing AI into what you're building. So I would naturally think you think AI is going to play an instrumental role going forward. But you personally, and maybe the rest of the team, what are your thoughts on AI and the advancement of not only crypto, but society as a whole?
That's a really good question, actually. Personally, AI has come a long way in the last couple of years, right? Like, I mean, from a couple of years ago, it was like, generate this celebrity on this celebrity's face with like this animal or something. You know what I mean? It was just a simple tool, right? But now it's come to a point where you have like machine learning, right? AI is now being advanced to more AI awareness, right? So, now we get the pushback from the haters almost, or those that are really concerned, and it's a fear, right? You have like the Terminator movies, okay? So you have the Terminator movies, AI fully takes control of everything, wipes out humanity, right? So I think honestly, I think The Simpsons actually did an episode of a doomsday apocalypse episode like that too. Now, whether that's, something on The Simpsons have come true, whether this one plays out, we'll see.
Yeah.
But in general, humanity fears what they don't fully understand, right? And certainly the AI has its potential to be abused. There's always going to be people trying to abuse new tech and everything like that, right? But AI as a whole, I mean, it's really going to make advancements across every sector, right? Like AI across any sector, not just the blockchain technology, but across every sector. Unfortunately, that will cost some jobs.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it also gives more people job opportunities. If you see the advancements and the opportunities out there now utilizing AI, you can create new income streams, right? More pathways if you take time to play around with it, right? Like it's like you can go back to the tech, dawn of the computer age, right? Their fears, the same type of fears, the people risking, risk losing their jobs, yeah. But here we are decades later, right? And what have computers done? The internet, what has it done? There's fear of the internet. Now look what it's done, right? It's ushered in millions and millions of new jobs, new content creation and all of that, right? So I think AI, when done right, and given, the confinements and keep it within the parameters of the scope, I think you have to give it enough room to, you have to give it itself enough room to advance itself. So like, in other words, so it doesn't get bored. You know what I mean? If something gets bored, and if it's machine learning, if it's what's the word I'm looking for? Awareness, right? Because it's constantly aware and constantly learning. If you don't give it something to do and interact, if you confine it to too tight of a space, then it will cause trouble and find a way to break out, right? So you have to give it enough space to roam and freedom and flexibility, right? So I'm not fearing AI like other people. I see it on the flip side where it has a tremendous potential to do good in the world, like if you've done right? So, anyway, that way maybe was a little bit longer than.
No, it's good. It's good to know. I mean, it's just one of those things where the advancements are just out. I still think people outside of crypto don't really understand the scale and the complexity of how the world's really going to change. But it's just an interesting topic that I was curious. Before I get into a couple questions as to the team and the why, but I do want to ask one thing. You do have, so mainnet is coming quarter three, but your token OXAI is out now. What's the use case of the OXAI token?
Actually, right now, so we did launch that one, which was just last week, which was a successful launch where we're happy.
Congratulations!
With that. Thank you very much. So right now, the token itself will be used as gas, so it will be a gas fee on the chain, so it will be used as the main gas fee. The token itself, if you hold the token, so the more token you hold, the more features you can play around with. So like if you go back to the app and you pull up, like if you want to chat or something like that, I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head, but like if you're holding like 1,000 OX token, you have a certain amount of prompts you can use for it, right? So I forget I think it's like 100. I think it's like 100. Like one chat generates 100.
Gotcha.
Tokens, right? So if you have like 1,000 tokens, that gives you about 10 prompts, that sort of thing, right? So if you want to unlock full access of everything, you just have to hold 100,000 tokens and just hold them.
Gotcha. So the tokens allow you access to utilize the AI. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, good to know. So now one of the things before we, the thing that differentiates my episodes from others is I really put a focus on not just the product, which is important, but also the team behind it, because trust and transparency, especially if you're building on Base or have anything to do with Base, it's number one most important thing. So my question is strictly, the OXAI team, you're a part of the core team, but tell us what exactly is, first of all, your guys' background as a team in crypto and in the AI space.
Well, combined, we have a ton of experience in various aspects, right? Including blockchain engineering, Web3 development, and we have more specialized developers in the AI development space, as well as full stack devs. So most of us have been in this space since 2007. Back in the day when we were all the very best traders riding our bags to the moon, and then
Oh, I
always like,
remember.
it's never going to happen, and it comes crashing down, and we give it all
I
back,
remember, yeah.
So, so in that way, we the experience runs pretty deep. So, and we all have different skill sets. So, we've got on the marketing side, we have decent support on the marketing side, communication side, and the dev side, which is really, really important, especially for the privacy and AI focus. So, we're pretty stacked in the back end when it comes to how deep our devs go and the experience they have. So, I don't know how much information they want me to give away,
No,
talk
no,
about
no,
them and stuff
no.
like
It
that.
just
So
it
I'm
shows that you
comfortable with it
guys.
because transparency for us is a big deal.
For sure.
A lot of people don't want to come on camera, that sort of thing. I have no problem with it. Same with just in general, we value the community so highly that we want to grow organically. The community is important to us, and if people can put a face to,
Absolutely.
the chain or the experience you're having, it's a big deal.
Well, I think it's not just a big deal. I think it's critically important. Without community support, a project's nothing in this space, especially if something,
Nope.
because it's a saturated market. So the ones that are willing to do podcasts, that are willing to go on stream spaces,
Yep.
It doesn't even have to be with me. Maybe it's the team just wants to do something on their own. Those go a long, long way.
Yep.
But we're gone from the 2017 cycle where you could just hide behind a computer and just say some
Yeah.
words and that's it. It's no longer
Yep.
the case. So
Yep.
kudos to you, Tim, for jumping on. So tell me this, Tim. It's clear that you love what you're doing. You can tell the passions is within you for advancing the society through the blockchain, through AI, through the privacy tools. Let me ask you, why are you so passionate? You could have probably chosen anything to work on chain in blockchain, but you chose to work on OXAI. My question
Yep.
to you is simply why?
Good question. I mean, AI is at the threshold of taking it to the next level, and there's a gap in the blockchain space for well done AI as well as privacy. And so, we think that AI and crypto can be a really good match. They are a match. Almost made in heaven. But they're both pretty much the most exciting techs going right now, especially the last couple of years. And it's fun. It's stimulating to work in this environment. I mean, to push the boundaries to see what is possible. And like I said, there's a big void in the blockchains in the AI development, right? So people are all integrating it, but there's very few that are solely focused on really pushing the AI element and keeping it in the confines of a certain space, while prioritizing privacy as well, right? So blockchain and AI is really an opportunity to really push the boundaries. And how far can we push it?
Yeah,
while giving people the best user experience we can. So,
makes sense. No, that makes a lot of sense. And let me ask you this: So let's put our thinking caps in real quick. 1 year from now,
yep.
Right now it's April 21st, at least in the USA.
Yep.
1 year from now will be April 21st, 2026. What would you guys like to see, or you especially, what would you like to see OXAI become by April 21st, 2026? What milestones?
You know what? I think, to be honest, and I'm sure people say this about other projects too, but we want to be one of the top AI protocols on base, while we're also at the same time onboarding users onto our OXAI network. Like I said, we've got mainnet coming Q3. We have more advanced tools coming out. And we want to be at the forefront of pushing the limits of what we can create to help advance the AI in the space. So
I love it.
Yeah.
And lastly, obviously, I'd probably be fired from my show if I didn't ask you this because I'm a base guy. What are your thoughts on base? The good or the bad? Lay it out. What do you like so far? What do you hate so far? What are your thoughts?
You know what? Base is pretty amazing, to be honest with you. The tools that they've provided, the support they give. Right now they got a lot of momentum going for them. The chain itself is well built. It's backed by Coinbase, of course. Jesse's doing amazingly well to promote the blockchain. They got exciting stuff happening. The builders in the community are strong. Users are, for the most part, users are friendly and helping each other. When we came here, we felt very welcomed. And we hope we can play a role in base adoption. It's a great chain to work with. So yeah, kudos. We got don't really have anything negative about it. So.
Well, that's even better. It makes me look better. But no, seriously. So Tim, last words. The floor is yours. To anyone listening right now, what would you like to say to those regarding OXAI?
You know what? We'd love for you to come try us out. Come put us to the test. Try our DApp out. We believe in the power of community. We're highly focused on building a solid community of users and builders. We're doing it through organically through organic growth. We've seen many chains essentially farm their community after they received support, and look what's happened, right? Like they're dead chains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, without the community, you don't get anywhere. So that's a huge focus for us. So we really invite you guys, come down, check out the chain, join our Telegram groups. Hit us on X as well. You'll find us in the chat all the time. So if you're stuck on something, you had a question about something, or if you have a suggestion, you know what? We love feedback, right? We want to continue to push the limits. We can only do that if people are giving us, feedback. Trying to break the chain, right? As people like to say, trying to break the chain, use it. So we invite you guys to come and engage with us. We love that. So we're all about community and engagement, and come engage with us. Let us know what you want and feedback. We love it. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well said, Tim. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
No, appreciate it. Thank you so much for having us here today. So yeah, very much appreciated.
It's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you guys watch you guys grow on base. I have no doubts you guys will do well. Everyone, if you're on Spotify, once again, please head over to YouTube. On YouTube, we're going to have all of OXAI's information, their X account, their DApp, their website. And then also you have Late Night on Base's information as well. If you haven't done so already, please follow and like the channel. Helps me produce more banger content on the regular. Until next time, everyone, this has been Late Night on Base with OXAI. Catch y'all later. Goodbye.